Alright, guys. I thought I would come on here today and do a Friday the 13th film ranking. This is by far my favorite slasher franchise. Um, the amount of Friday the 13th memorabilia and just items that I have is insane. Way too much money spent, but definitely something I'm passionate about. I want to touch on passion a little bit. I had a comment or two comments in the last post I did with the Odyssey. Um, Pretty much talking along the lines of that I sounded boring and monotone, and I need to show that I actually care if I'm gonna do something. I promise you, if I'm recording it, I care about what I'm doing. I wouldn't just waste my time for no reason, especially when I'm not even getting paid to do this. So there's definitely a reason why I'm doing it, and it's because I love talking about films. So if you're purely annoyed with the way I talk, then you don't have to watch. But I'm not going to be the type of over enthusiastic person that sounds fake the whole video. I'm going to talk how I want to talk, and that's just how it's going to be. But moving forward, um, obviously there's some awkwardness in the camera, like with me. I'm new to all this, so while I'll probably become more outgoing as I make more and more videos, I'm definitely gonna have that awkward monotone sound to me because I'm still learning and figuring out how to do all this, and I'm just doing it for fun. Um, so it was definitely a shame to see that comment, but also it's definitely something I need to hear, so I can definitely work on that. And they may have not been trying to be mean, but obviously there's no context in text, so I'm gonna take it for what it's worth. I can definitely work on not being so boring in my videos, but I'm also not going to fake it to make the audience happy, which is basically what that comment was saying. So, um, yeah. Anyways, not to go on too deep into that rant. I wanted to rank the Friday the 13th films. Like I said, my favorite franchise. If you guys like this content, we can do more of these. But yeah, let's get right into it. I'm gonna probably do this in order from first film to last. Um, so Friday the 13th. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna put it in C tier simply because without this film, we wouldn't have all the others. But standalone, it's boring. You guys can flame me for that. Yeah, it's a foundational film for sure. We wouldn't have Jason Voorhees if we didn't have Friday the 13th. But I I don't know. I could be super ignorant to the whole thing, but I could care less about. Um, Archie wants to say hi, but I could care less about the film on its own. There's just nothing to it. I mean, it's foundational, like I said. So, it explains the reason Jason is the way he is, I suppose, and his motive behind it, his modus operandi per se. Because his mom, he's pretty much a mama's boy, and uh, it starts with his mom seeking revenge for her son, for him, and then it then turns on to seek revenge for his mom in the later film. So I get the whole concept and how it's supposed to open into other films, but if we're talking about just Friday the 13th, if I had gone back in 1980, I believe, um, to watch this film, I would have said that was one of the most boring things ever. But then again, I'm talking on a mindset from modern day now. So obviously, horror wasn't anywhere near what it is today, like what we have today. So maybe I wouldn't have thought that way. But I'm really happy that even with the first film not being great, we got all these others and the character of Jason Voorhees to come out of it. So I think that's super cool, and that's why I'm putting it in C tier. Part two. Part two, I'm gonna put in B tier. Um, I don't really. There's nothing special about it other than, I mean, we get to see Jason as the killer for the first time, which is super cool, and I really do love the look of like Sackhead Jason. But other than that, he's still human. He's alive, and part of me really likes the undead factor of Jason. So because of that, I feel like it really nerfs his character in the first few films, and it doesn't make you as afraid of him, in my opinion. But overall, I mean, I have the pop figure of him, which is super cool. I can get, yeah, I have the pop figure of him. Love the character, like love the outfit, the overalls, the one eye, with the sack and all that. Super cool. Day this came out, I think I was like 14 or 15. I had to pick it up. Yeah, love the look of this Jason. Just not a fan of the film. But yeah. Let's move on to the next one, which is part three. Part three. I really, yeah, I'm gonna put it in A tier. I love the characters in part three. Shelly being my favorite, just a goofy character. Love that character. He's the whole reason Jason has his hockey mask, which is super cool. So again, another foundational film. We see Jason become who we know him as today with his hockey mask. Um, and this is also, it's debatable on whether he actually dies in this film or not. But this is where we see him, I suppose, become undead at the end when he gets the axe in the head. Um, but other than that, I love the green shirt Jason. Super cool look. But that's really all I gotta say about that one. But definitely A tier for sure. I like this much more than part two. Um, Probably because I am biased towards the fact that I love the hockey mask look and all that. I think the Sackhead, like I said, is an awesome look, but I mean the look we all know and love is that hockey mask look, and that's where we get that. So A tier for sure. Um, Part four. This is no surprise. S tier, final chapter, I should say. It's it's by far like unanimous that it's the best one. Corey Feldman, and his role as Tommy Jarvis, love that. Honestly, his character reminds me a lot of like when I was a kid. His mask making and stuff like that. I don't make masks, but I do have like a latex mask collection, and I love watching this film just because it just kind of hits home in a lot of ways and really makes me feel that I'm Tommy Jarvis. I guess like I feel like I'm him. Like I share a lot in common with him. Um, it's just it's a very fun Friday the 13th. The kills are good. Obviously, like I said, it's debatable. I'd say Jason's undead at this point. He had the axe in the head. He comes back. It's just really a really fun film to watch. It's also probably the one I've watched the most. And I also, sorry, I have a few things I brought out here just to show you guys as I go through. Probably do like a whole collection of like all my horror memorabilia at some point. I couldn't bring the big one out, but I even have the final chapter, NECA Jason figure. Just love this look. Super cool. Obviously, this has never been out of the box. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this camera angle and stuff. Never been out of the box, but it's a great Jason. I have a 1/4 scale of that NECA figure as well. Let me know if you guys want to see that, and I can show you it. It's like 2 feet tall. It's super cool. I also have a I can't think of the brand. It's also a part 4 Jason, but it's like has an arm moving and stuff like that. I think it's really cool. Moving on, part 5, New Beginning. It's a hot take for this one for a lot of people. I actually really think it's different. and I like it. And this is like now we're going into where Tommy Jarvis is like an adult. Um, we lose Jason Voorhees, but we get I don't know it's like Halloween 3 what is it, Season of the Witch. It's almost like a different movie, but it's cool and I kind of like it, but it's not Jason, so because of that I'm gonna put it in B. Um, Definitely has its own uniqueness to it, and I like the characters that are in it still. And like I said, we get to see more Tommy Jarvis. I like Tommy Jarvis. He's now an adult. Um, it's definitely still a unique film that I like personally. I know it's hated by a lot of people, but I am one that still likes it. Of Roy, I think Roy's pretty cool. Definitely a different look. It's almost like a Michael Myers type character with the hockey mask. Yeah, dig that. All right, part 6. If I can, yeah, Jason Lives. I believe that's part 6. Part 6. A tier. Shout out to my friend Kyle. I believe this is his um, favorite Friday the 13th. He's got the spear, super cool. Gets struck by lightning in the grave. I think this is where people truly consider him undead, and I get that because he's literally being struck back to life. Um, he's got like there's one thing about this film, but I'm still keeping it an A tier because it's a super cool look for Jason, and the overall film is still really fun and entertaining. It's not really weird. I enjoy the what is it? I haven't seen this one in a while. Is it a paintball war? I enjoy those scenes. I believe he smacks someone's face against a tree, and there's like a smiley face. It's just a really fun one to watch. But there's something about his hockey mask. It's like a pancake, and I don't know if I can get past it. And a lot of times I can't take it serious. And he also has a utility belt as well. I don't know. There's a goofiness about this Jason and the way he looks, but also something badass about it too. It goes both ways. So, but overall, it's going in A tier. I'd probably have some bias because my best friend likes this one a lot. But it's overall a pretty decent film, and me being a Friday the 13th fanboy, anyways, I'm gonna probably rank all these pretty high except for one. So. And I'm sure a lot of people already know which one that is, but we'll wait and get through to that. This is part 7, right? Part 7 for me. It's another A tier. Or wait, no. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Part 7. As Cody Leach would say, it's just Carrie with Jason. Jeez, can't think. I think it's cool. I think by this point the movies were getting a little boring, getting a little like, oh, Jason's coming back again. He's gonna kill everyone at camp again. Like, yeah, we need to start switching it up a little bit. And not only that, it's A tier because this is when Kane Hodder becomes Jason Voorhees, and I think it's unanimous that everyone thinks that Kane Hodder is the best Jason Voorhees. There's just a meanness that comes across with when Kane Hodder becomes Jason that you don't really get from the other Friday the 13th films. All and the others except part 4, and call me a fake fan, I'm blinking on who played Jason Voorhees in part 4. Oh my gosh. Sorry, my cat just tried to jump and failed. There's something about Kane Hodder taking on Jason Voorhees, and he just makes him so much more mean and just badass. Like, there's no other way of saying it. Not only that, I think Part 7 is by far my favorite look. I could even show you. I got a tattoo based off the Part 7 Jason. Like the chains and stuff like on him. It's just such a cool look. Like that's him coming out of the water with the machete. Um, it's such a unique look, and like I said, it's just a badass look. Like, um, is the sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Is the premise like of yeah like a Carrie type character weird? Yeah, because it you don't expect supernatural or not supernatural but superpowers in a Friday the 13th film. That's not really the idea, other than the fact that he comes back to life. But Jason is the only one that's allowed to kind of have that supernatural aspect, I think. And the character kind of just comes and goes, and like we don't really know why. But it's still a really cool film. Definitely a really iconic look with the chains and the zombie face that you get when you rip his mask off. Definitely super cool. I mean, obviously he's been rotting under the water. Of course, he's gonna have like a swampy zombie face. But one I really enjoy for sure. Um, Jason Takes Manhattan. It's man, it's B tier. Yeah, B tier. I love the whole thing when they're on the boat and all that. Like that's my favorite part of this film. But once he's actually like in New York and stuff like that, it gets just dumb. Um, Another thing Cody Leach had mentioned in a video I had watched. Yeah, of course. I mean, we already see it in Part 7. He's getting like this zombie look, but it only gets worse in Part 8, and he's like this gooey mess underneath the mask. When they're down in that sewage tunnel or whatever, and they take his mask off, it's just almost too much. You want some sort of foundation of a killer under that mask, and not just a mushy mess. Um, and I just think they really started to run out of ideas of this one. I get also at the same time though, you can't keep having him at Camp Crystal Lake killing all the campers. Like it gets boring for sure. So like I'm sure they were at the writers' table like, hey, let's put him in New York. Like sure, why not? But I definitely liked it a lot more when he was on the boat. Once he actually got off the boat in New York City and around all these people, um, it got weird because I just I can't imagine him like I don't know. Not only that, he's this killer that like it almost loses its plot a little bit because like he's this killer that's it's supposed to be avenging his mother for his death, yet now he's just in New York chasing these people down like on a boat and all that. Like we're well past where your murder and your mom's murder took place. Like why are we in New York going on a freaking killing spree? Like what's the point? But yeah, we'll put that in B tier. Still super great film overall. Like I said, there's only one I really don't enjoy, and that's this one right here. Jason Goes to Hell. Moving on, D tier. Jason X. Just kidding. Um, I really don't have anything good to say about it. Like in all honesty, like I said I was kidding, but like there's just nothing good about it. It's just a weird movie that just happens to be in the Friday the 13th franchise, and I honestly hate it because if it wasn't in it, I wouldn't have a single one of these films in the D tier list. We would have a lot more higher up. But Jason X, Um, a lot of people actually weirdly like this one. I don't like at all. Um, I super hot takes here. I think Jason X, like his Jason X style, looks really weird. I don't like that they pretty much made it Terminator in space. Like at this point, like that's what it felt like, and you're really running out of ideas at this point. Um, but I also know Friday the 13th. It's a slasher franchise. They're never really meant to be taken seriously, but you got to give Jason some dignity. Does he look cool? For sure, definitely looks cool. But like back to the Jason Takes Manhattan um, movie, like we're losing the plot here. Like Frozen, what was it, like 1,000 years, and it's in the future, and now he's still trying to kill these people on a ship. These people have nothing to do with um, Camp Crystal Lake or his mom or anything like that, and we're supposed to believe that his whole purpose of coming back is to avenge his mother and things like that. But now he's just this Terminator-like character in space killing people. If we're not talking about plot and like story, and we're just talking about Jason the character in this movie, it's super cool, which is the only reason why I'm not putting it in D tier, because while to me I think the story's dumb, him himself, like it's a cool character, but he's definitely just Terminator in space. Yeah. All right. We're getting to now. I say for the final chapter is my favorite. I think we can give an exclusion to the fact that this is my favorite film overall, because it's not just this isn't Friday the 13th. This is Freddy versus Jason. It's its own thing, but it does fall under this tier list. Freddy versus Jason. I think a lot of people would agree. It's an S tier movie. You're taking two of the coolest 1980s slashers, like most iconic slashers, and putting them head to head. It's a what if scenario that everybody wanted to see, and it came out the year I was born in 2003, which just makes it even better. It was meant to be that I would love this movie, and I do so much. It's also the first movie that I actually saw Jason and Freddy, obviously. I remember I was 5 years old, I think. It was on regular TV, and my dad had asked me. I was like, he's like, "Do you think you can handle um, like a horror movie?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure, for sure." He's like, "I don't know, like Freddy might get you a little bit. He's pretty unsightly, because I think he thought I was gonna think his like burnt face was gross, but from that day on, I was sucked into slasher films just in general. Like I fell in love. I never once found any of these movies scary. They've all just been enjoyable and entertaining, and I think that's a pretty common belief for a lot of people. Is I don't think slasher films are ever scary. They're just entertaining, but in the best way possible. It's something you sit down and you know you can be like, oh fuck yeah, hell yeah, and I love that I get to experience that every day. All right, last one, the remake, if you want to call it a remake. Um, A tier. It. I have one flaw with this one. In every other way, super badass. Jason um, takes place backwards. Started at camp, like at the lake. Um, maybe okay. Two flaws. For one, I mean, really for both. It's my bias. Um, I don't think I don't like the way Jason acts in in this movie. Like I don't like that he can run. Jason Voorhees shouldn't be an agile person. He's meant to be like slow walking, while obviously the camper's clumsily running through the forest, and then all of a sudden he just appears and catches up to her or him out of nowhere, and it's like, how the fuck do you do that? It doesn't matter. It's Jason Voorhees. But in this one, you actually watch him running and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. That it throws me off a little bit. Another thing is just, you can tell it's a newer movie. I mean, it's 2009 at this point. I mean, it's an old movie now. It's 17 years old, which is crazy to think about. But I think I'm biased to the older style, like from the 80s. Like Freddy vs. Jason is an exception. It didn't feel like a new movie. It feels older than it is. But there's a modern take to the 2009 version, obviously, because it is more modern. But I'm not a fan of it and those aspects. I don't like the agility aspect that they gave him, and I don't like the modern feel to it. But overall, being a Friday the 13th fan, I believe he's a super cool look. I love the way he looks, and it's a great movie overall. There's a lot of great kills in it. I definitely prefer the kill in the basement where he's seen as like a mannequin or whatever. It's a great Friday the 13th film. It's one I haven't actually seen in a very long time, so I can't speak on it too much. But I mean, obviously, another cool thing, I mean, he has a crossbow. That's different, but I actually do like that. They made him not so dumb. And while, like I was saying in part 7, I do want a more mean Jason Voorhees, not so clumsy and, I guess, like a clumsy oaf, like someone, like a, yeah. I feel like they made him too witty. There's a balance. Like, he's still gonna be slow moving and kind of like almost like gentle giant acting. He's not gentle, of course, but he's too witty, if that makes sense. I don't know if anyone else agrees on that, but me being the fanboy I am, it's got to go A tier. With all this freaking legal crap the Friday the 13th franchise is having right now, I don't think any of us know when we're gonna get another Friday the 13th film. So I have to respect that we at least have one somewhat recent in 2009. And yeah, just gotta love it for that. Anyways, that was my Friday the 13th ranking. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I'm not the guru or the whiz on filmmaking itself. I love critiquing and talking about what I think about films, but I'm not an expert in any way. I'm a minor in cinema studies. I have a minor in cinema studies, but there's still a lot I know and could learn. So don't take everything I say with 100% expert opinion, because this is just my fun opinions and beliefs and what I think. As well as a lot of these films, it had been a while since I've seen. So if there's anything I had mistaken or gotten wrong, just don't take it too hard. I know the general premise of each one, so I know where I can rank them. But all right, well, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this Friday the 13th ranking video. I was definitely pretty excited about it. I hope I'm enthusiastic enough. Super excited. But yeah, I hope you guys really like this one. Let me know what y'all think, and you guys tell me your own rankings and where you place them at. I'm really curious to see. But I'd like to see you guys in the next one.